Welcome to Simply Bitcoin, the channel that breaks down all the daily Bitcoin news from Twitter, the daily fail, the meme review, software releases, the website by Plebs. We've got it all. Drop us a like and subscribe. All right, kicking it off with the numbers. Here we go.
Whoa, put a dashboard.
All right, we are currently at a block height of 666,089. Current Bitcoin price, 38,940. Chain rewrite days, 572. Total lightning capacity, 1,044.02 BTC. And the Bitcoin versus gold market cap, 6.05%.
Man, and unfortunately, no Satoshi the Bitcoin chicken today. But you guys are going to be excited when you see him because he's a new Satoshi the Bitcoin chicken. He looks like Elvis. You guys are going to have to wait for a new all-time high. Phil, it's time for
the daily fail. Chad Saylor writes, Bitcoin is thermodynamically sound money for the economic winter that is coming. So, got this random person that responds back and goes, hey, Michael Saylor, let's have a contest. You bring one Bitcoin on a USB stick. I'll bring one gold coin. We'll whack them with a hammer, then have a talk about which one is sound money. Okay, so this person obviously knows very little about Bitcoin. Based on what they're saying, they clearly haven't done any research at all. Right? So because Bitcoin isn't actually stored, like this person believes that somehow the Bitcoin is stored on a USB key and that if you destroy this USB key, your Bitcoin is gone. Okay, that's not actually how Bitcoin works. Okay, Bitcoin is a decentralized network, right? And Bitcoin lives on that network. Okay, so when you have a wallet, okay, and you have access to the private keys, okay, that simply gives you access to that location on the blockchain, the ability to spend the money in that location. So really what's important is knowing your private key or your seed words, okay? With that knowledge, you can cross any border and, you can go and download a wallet and restore your seed or private key and be able to get your Bitcoin back. So it's just really sad, right? Because the reality is that let's see this person hop on a plane with a bar of gold and, I'll hop on a plane, with my private key, or my seed, and we'll see what happens on the other side. I'm pretty sure that he's going to have a hard time explaining that bar of gold, whereas I have absolutely nothing to explain.
Absolutely, and you're absolutely. I think you hit all the points, Phil. And you can also make multiple keys or multiple copies of that private key, multiple copies of that seed. You could geographically separate them. Now compare the resilience between all that, right? So obviously, Bitcoin is more resilient if you store it correctly. So I think that was just he's not educated on the matter enough. But I think that if you educate him, hopefully he'll get orange pilled. But until then, he's going to have fun staying poor. Phil, it's time for
the daily meme review.
All right, everybody. Our meme for today is brought to us by Buyer of Blood. Okay, little sinister, but anyways, let's check out the meme. It looks funny just looking at it. I can see the cat. Let's check it out. Dude, okay, man. Listen, that was a great meme. That was, look, it made me laugh. It made sense. It was easy to understand. Phil, I'm going to give that an 8.8. What about you?
I really like those. I think they're super cute. Actually, I think they're funny. I love the cat and I love the whole entire thing. I gave it an 8.5.
Solid scores, man. Yeah. So Buyer of Blood, you're good. You're good at memeing, man. I like it. I like them. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Keep educating everybody. Keep spreading the message. That being said, Phil, it's time for
the Daily News, sponsored by Crypto Cloaks.
All right, everybody. We have some today. It's one of those days. It's just good news all around. I know it's been pretty dark recently. And look, news is what it is. It's not dark, it's not positive, but today it's all bullish news. That's what I meant to say. So DCG's Foundry will call it. Phil, could you help me out here?
Co-locate
14,000 Bitcoin mining machines in US with focus on institutional buyers. This is extremely bullish, guys. I'm gonna tell you why this is extremely bullish. Let me take you on a little journey, right? So check this out. Also came out today, Bitcoin mining comes to the Arctic Circle. Now check this out. Pakistan is now using government funds to mine Bitcoin. Now check this out. Iran pushes national Bitcoin mining plan as Chinese region tries to ban mining, right? There's two things that I want you to focus on here, guys. So first of all, look at the distribution of all this mining around the world that's being used, obviously, to protect the Bitcoin network. It's literally on the other sides of the planet. In the US, we have focus from institutions trying to mine Bitcoin, commercial mining. Then we have obviously some miners that are trying to do the same thing in the Arctic Circle. And then you have the governments of Iran and Pakistan want to get involved in the mining of Bitcoin. What you guys need to know as a user is this all strengthens the Bitcoin network. And now check this out, right? So Iran is actually the president. Look how bullish. Could you imagine if this type of news came out of the US? Iranian President Hassan Rouhani, I hope I pronounced that correctly, is moving to implement a national strategy for cryptocurrency mining, though details have not yet been hashed out. Reported earlier this week, Rouhani made these comments in front of officials from the Central Bank of Iran, the Department of Energy and Information, and other ministries permanent to Bitcoin mining. So it's literally all hands on deck in Iran to mine Bitcoin. And Pakistan, it looks like they're making the same move, right? Pakistan is now using government funds to mine Bitcoin. So Phil, this is extremely bullish. You have interested parties all around the world, completely decentralized, all interested in mining Bitcoin, which makes the hash rate goes up, which raises the value proposition of Bitcoin. Why? Because the higher the hash rate, the harder it is to attack the Bitcoin network. So when I see this, Phil, I see the price catching up very soon. This is extremely bullish. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to assume that they've done their homework and they've figured out that it's financially, financially viable for them to mine, to invest in this and to start mining Bitcoin. So there's that point. I kind of think that when you're dealing with corporations and stuff like that, they're always going to want to do their due diligence and go through all of their different criteria to figure out if it's the right move or not. So. Yeah, I think it's ultra bullish, and it's cool to see the essentially the decentralization taking place in real time, right? We've been seeing this from the beginning. If you think about it, going back to the first two nodes, right? Technically, right? Hal and Satoshi.
It's crazy how the incentives are so aligned that it's just playing on this very basic human emotion, which is greed. Yeah. And you see governments all around the world. And I completely forgot to mention this, Phil. Also in Kentucky, it looks like the government of Kentucky is offering to exempt Bitcoin miners from taxes. This is incredible, right? It's literally the decentralization of Bitcoin mining all over the world, and everyone's just going for it. And in the process of them, all this interest of Bitcoin mining, it makes the Bitcoin network more secure, which in turn brings up the price. It's super bullish. And Phil, we're gonna end the news segment with some bullish tweets. So let's start with CNBC. Not a big fan, but Twitter CEO Dorsey admits internet companies have too much power, cites Bitcoin as a model for change. Look, regardless of whether you believe in him, they're obviously referencing his statement, in response to the Twitter stock falling, because he would have never made that statement. But this is referencing when Jack Dorsey and Twitter decided to, censor and deplatform Donald Trump. He tweeted a response today, and I'm not even going to give that, you guys could go see it, but I'm not going to give Jack that type of platform. But he basically says, look, the centralization of companies gives us way too much power to decide whether to do this or not. Again, he said that out of pressure because the stock went down, and he obviously cites Bitcoin as an alternative. And look, whether you agree with Jack or not, whether you think he's lying, he's absolutely right, because with Bitcoin, no one could censor transactions. Mining pools and miners could attempt to censor transactions, but eventually transactions will go through because there's always that one pool that's willing to pick up those fees, right? So the next tweet, Phil, is this is awesome. This is extremely bullish. The world has 47 millionaires. 71 of them live in the US and the EU. There's only 14. I want you guys to pay attention to this. There's only 14.9 million Bitcoin in circulation, and only 4.1 million Bitcoin are liquid and therefore able to be bought. But check out how many millionaires are there. There's literally not enough Bitcoin to go around for all the millionaires in the world. And the last tweet I wanted to end it on, Phil, this is awesome. The IMF hates Bitcoin. This is the organization of that likes the, you won't have anything and you'll be happy, right? This is the same. They're all in cahoots, right? In the party of Davos, and Christine Lagarde, like this is what she likes, right? This is what she's part of, the central bank evil consortium. And I just love this. Are digital currencies really money? 79% of their poll said yes, and the Bitcoin army is just wrecking them. What the hell are you doing? Okay, but up to here, I'm just gonna on air. I'm gonna say idiot. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna waste your time on that. But Phil, what do you think of all those tweets, man? They were so bullish. They were so reinforcing, and this year is gonna be awesome.
Man, I was doing fine till I got confused by that XRP tweet. So yeah, look, obviously, I think that's going back to the IMF tweet. I think that they don't want to see that. It's interesting, right? Like they're asking if digital currencies are really money, but what are they really asking, right? It's like they're not necessarily talking about Bitcoin. They're talking about their own garbage shitcoin that they want to introduce to everyone and drop on everyone's lap. So I mean, it's great that everybody responded, and it's great that 79% of people agree. But it's not for our benefit.
No, it's definitely not. But I agree. But the awesome functionality of Twitter is that it lets people comment, right?
Oh, yeah.
So if anyone inevitably they scroll down the comments, they're going to see the truth. It's plastered all over there, So at least it gives people the information to at least know to pick between a dystopian central bank digital currency or Bitcoin, a free decentralized currency, right? So I mean, it's definitely, it's not celebratory, but man, they got trolled so hard when I saw that.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's definitely beautiful, and I'm going to comment on the XRP. Have fun staying poor, because that XRP person, especially after the US deemed it a security, they're definitely going to get wrecked. Phil, I know I always say this every day, but there actually was a pretty big software release. I'm definitely going to download it right after this. Why don't you tell everybody about it?
Software releases. All right, so it looks like Coldcard version 3.2.2 firmware was released today, and the link to those details are down below in the show notes.
Awesome. Thank you, Phil. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Simply Bitcoin. Sorry, I've had a long day. This episode of Simply Bitcoin. You guys know what to do. If you like the episode, like. If you guys love the episode, subscribe. I don't know what's wrong with me. Tomorrow I'll be better. See you guys on the next one.